Hi, everyone, and welcome to our prenatal wellness talks. Today, I have the pleasure to be joined by Maria Beatrice from Italy to explore prenatal education and the critical role of early beginnings in shaping human development. She's a member of ANPEP, which is the National Association of Prenatal Psychology and Education in Italy. Maria Beatrice, thank
It's
you so much for
difficult.
joining us today.
Thank you too, Susanna. It's a great pleasure for me. Thank you so much for this invitation.
So, to begin with, please tell our audience who you are, your professional background, and the work that you do today.
For sure, thank you. I would like to thank Prenatal Alliance for this wonderful opportunity to share information of prenatal awareness, and Susanna, especially for her invaluable collaboration. My name is Maria Beatrice Nava, and I am International Relations Representative for ANPEP, the National Association of Prenatal Psychology and Education, which has been promoting and enhancing the value of the prenatal period in Italy for decades. I have been working with families for more than 20 years, previously as a developmental psychologist, and currently as an educator and a trainer. I am an expert in prenatal psychology and education, and I am currently involved in supporting the growth of families through adult education and the dissemination of good educational practices with my project, Educazione Consapevole. You can translate it as Aware Education. Since 2017, I have also been running playgroups for families with children aged 0 to 3.
That's wonderful. And let us know a little bit about this project, an educational kit for a new life, which was born in a very specific and meaningful way. Can you tell us how this idea emerged and what moved you to focus on parents already during pregnancy?
Yes, of course, I will very gladly tell how this project came about. In 2023, I was conducting some training meetings for the parents of children enrolled in the nursery Arcobaleno, the Rainbow, in Urgnano, a little town of about 10,000 inhabitants in the province of Bergamo in northern Italy. Inside that nursery, the coordinator and the educators had a contact and engagement project for pregnant couples. They met during the nursery's open days. And the coordinator asked me to help them develop this project by integrating 2 extra meetings, the first of which was on prenatal life. I accepted immediately. And so for 3 years, with the nursery Arcobaleno, we have been welcoming these pregnant couples and accompanying them on an educational journey to help them prepare to educate their incoming child. I can say that I am very proud to collaborate on this project, which has already been the subject of a publication in the Italian Journal of Psychology and Prenatal Education, and a report at the conference, the 280 of the first 1,000 days here in Italy in the last December. I can say that I discovered prenatal psychology and education immediately after graduating psychology in 2002, thanks to the book by Etienne Herbinet and Marie-Claire Busnel, The Dawn of the Senses. And by discovering that book and by the immediate contact with ANPEP, I understood that in order to work in the best way with families, it was necessary for me to arrive before birth, exactly during pregnancy. It was a great discovery.
Yeah, but intercepting families while they are still expecting a child is quite innovating in early childhood education. So, what do you believe makes pregnancy such a powerful and unique moment for educational work with parents?
That's true. It is truly an innovative idea to organize a 100% educational support program for parents during pregnancy run by an early childhood service, such as a nursery. I think it is really fantastic to be able to contribute to the pregnancy support network involving birth center and family counseling services while respecting each other's roles, skills, and tasks. Daily educational work with families of children aged 0 to 3 shows that this target group is accessible. Very young children is really possible, especially during pregnancy. And moreover, this is true when it is the couple's first child. The first reason why I am sure educational work with parents should begin during pregnancy is that as this stage of life, parents have deep education and needs and curiosities that can be addressed through prenatal education. And to this added a key factor, the available time. Because for a pregnant couple, leaving to attend a face-to-face course may not always be easy, but it becomes much more difficult once the baby is born. And so we have seen that by engaging couples early on, we can achieve a greater participation and continuity, which allows us to offer good experiences and useful content to a greater number of people with better learning outcomes and even satisfaction. And the second reason for starting educational work with parents during pregnancy is the neuroplasticity of the unborn child's nervous system. Because we know that the first 5 years of life represent the period of maximum neuroplasticity in a human being's entire life. And supporting parents' educational skills during pregnancy means getting involved early on in their daily choices, which can have a significant impact on their child's developmental trajectory. Prenatal education is a form of primary prevention, laying the foundations for a starting life based on contact, on listening, and attachment to the unborn child, as well as caring for the well-being of the parental who learn to see themselves as a team at the service of life and the future.
It's wonderful that you talked about the parents being more receptive in this period, because I do agree. I do agree that it's a period where we can actually even educate more, giving privileged information to the mother, the father, to how important is their role in the development of their baby. And that is also a matter of prevention, as you so well put it up. The program offered 4 free prenatal education meetings without additional funding and open to all families, regardless of the enrollment. So, what kind of awareness or transformation that did you observe in the couples who participated?
At the end of the course, participating couples were asked to fill out a satisfaction questionnaire about the prenatal education session and another one about the entire course, 6 sessions in total, 6. We can say that the couples were emotionally engaged and involved, truly involved, both cognitively and practically. The couples felt that the course allowed them to learn many useful things, and they greatly appreciated the practical approach of the workshops. For couples who choose to enroll their child in the same nursery, their trust in the educational staff increased, and a sense of familiarity with them was created. And this is very precious. The couples felt that they had been helped to find their way in terms of education and greatly appreciated the materials left to them, such as handouts and summaries, because they could be consulted as needed. One mother, in particular, she said that the peace of mind with which they will begin the nursery settling in process is due precisely to the course they have taken. And another mother said she was moved by the idea of her daughter being at nursery, learning every day alongside the same people from whom she herself had learned so much. And furthermore, couples felt motivated to make one or more concrete changes in their lives thanks to the course. They appreciated the clarity with which the information was provided, to the point that they wanted to recommend other couples to participate. The freedom to express themselves and the involvement of fathers and the non-judgmental atmosphere made mothers in particular feel at ease.
Yeah, and those are amazing outcomes that you have just expressed. It's so wonderful that that you are developing this kind of program. And do you have any notion on how this early connection changed the quality of relationships once the children were born or entered the infant daycare?
Of course, we have some news by the families because they can talk to us and to the educators every day. And they say that they feel better. Better people, better parents. They feel safe in this place and they have learned skills and they can use them to communicate with their child. And it is such an expected goal and result. And it is great. It is great. We deeply want to keep on going upon this path because it is revealing that is really, really a good way to accompany families.
Yes, and you are measuring your impact, which is really important in this field. Your work also has been highlighting the importance of integrating educational service with local health services. So, from your experience, what does meaningful integration looks like?
Having worked in the past as a psychologist in both the public and in private sectors, I have built up a network of contacts with family care professionals such as psychologists and psychotherapists and midwives and pediatricians and nursery nurses, etc. And these professionals typically work in healthcare settings such as hospitals and clinics and medical practices and are involved in women's and children's and family health services. And their field of action is clear, is well defined, and has a precise boundaries. Educational work, in the strict sense, our main theme, our main purpose, is not part of their field of action. And our project runs on an adjacent, I would say parallel track. Our goal is to support mothers and fathers from an educational perspective, not a healthcare perspective. We are well aware that it is important to know how to collaborate while respecting each other's areas of expertise. Our primary interest at the moment is to raise awareness of this opportunity and help collaboration with the local services that is invaluable. We want to let families know that our proposal exists and is waiting for them. It would be wonderful to think of a permanent working group that could collaborate to spread the word about the services available to all expectant couples. For now, it's just a dream. But if we continue to work, who knows? Maybe one day it can be true.
Yes, and when you're talking about the creation of this permanent working group to bring more awareness on prenatal life, bring it more consciously into early childhood services, what is your broader vision for education before birth? And what message would you like to leave to the ones who are listening to us today?
I have been involved in the training of education professionals for many years. And prenatal life has always been one of the topics covered in my courses. I think it's very important to train daycare educators on these topics because new families arrive at daycare with very young children, weeks, months, and pregnancy and childbirth are very recent events, still vivid in their memories, in their emotions, in their thoughts, even in their behaviors. Educators must be trained in prenatal life issues so they can better understand the life stories of every child, every mother, every father, every family. Nursery is a place where families deserve to be welcomed by professionals with comprehensive skills and who also have a network of contacts to whom they can entrust any difficulties that families may encounter so they don't get stuck on their development journey. I really would like this vision of the family at the heart of a competent and capable support network to find its way everywhere. And I would like prenatal education to become a new focal point for those who can make important and impactful decisions at the institutional level.
Thank you so much, Maria Beatrice, for all your
Thank you
contribution
too,
to
Susanna.
our podcast. It was amazing everything that you are doing in Italy, and that ANPEP was one of the founders of prenatal education in Italy. So it's wonderful to know more about your work and the things that you are doing there, which are, producing fruits, not only in Italy, but around the world, because I think this is a new consciousness that it's being forward to the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Susanna. It's a privilege for me and for ANPEP joining Prenatal Alliance because we have the same vision, we have the same idea. And by collaborating, we can reach more goals for families and for life. Thank you so much again, really.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.